and today's video is going to be about twin flames. Now, twin flame is like a big buzzword in the spiritual community, and there's a lot of confusion about what a twin flame is and kind of being able to understand if you found your twin flame. So hopefully this video clears it up a little bit, and I'm going to be talking about 3 main signs that you're with your twin flame, and I'm also going to use a really good example using astrology of a famous twin flame couple at the end, so we can talk about kind of the indicators in astrology and the kind of signs using a real life example. So hopefully that really helps. So the first sign that you are with your twin flame is if you met this person in a really unexpected way and there was a lot of energy that was supercharged into meeting them. So a lot of twin flames will meet in a very divine way, like the universe will like conspire to bring you guys together. That's such a good way of describing it. The universe will make sure that you guys meet, and it will be in a really like divine way, and you'll be able to feel this. You'll be able to feel the amount of energy around the meeting, and it will just feel like it was fate. It was absolutely meant to be that you guys met. Now, every twin flame journey is so different. I really want to like state that. Your twin flame journey that you have will be so different from somebody else's. But in a lot of cases, there will be an unexpected meeting, and there'll be a lot of signs and synchronicities from the universe that you have met someone really, really, really special. So this could be like a meeting in a really unexpected place, or like just meeting someone and you feel so much energy around it and you feel like you're at home, like you've never met someone who like you feel this way about before. It's almost like they have a similar soul, or they have the same soul as you, and the energy around it is just so profound. Now, as I've already said, like it's always very different for each twin flame couple, but a lot of the times a twin flame meeting will be like synchronized with a spiritual awakening. So a lot of the time, if you're having a bit of a spiritual awakening, you will meet a twin flame because you're ready to meet them. So a lot of the time, not in all cases, but a lot of the time, the twins will meet when they are ready to have a spiritual awakening, or if they've already met in the past, they will reconnect at a time when both twins or one twin is spiritually awakening. So it will be quite unexpected. There'll be a lot of energy around the relationship, and it will be catalyzed, or it will come after a spiritual awakening. Because our souls aren't always ready to meet our twin. Like it can be quite a painful and like really intense experience, and the universe will only send that soul to you when you're ready for it. Now, some of the signs that you may see when you meet your twin is a lot of repeated numbers. You may like have like really like deep feelings that you're about to meet someone special, or like you may get like certain like things appearing in your experience, like certain like spirit animals, or like you may like just see things which are really meaningful to you, but it's like a sign to the universe that someone really special is coming along. Even in a lot of cases, being interested in this twin flame relationship can actually be a sign in itself from the universe that you are about to meet your twin flame. Like a lot of the time, the universe will speak in really obvious ways that we don't like fully pick up on straight away, and one of those could be that you become really interested in a twin flame, and then all of a sudden they appear because you're like learning about it before you're ready to meet them, if that makes sense. That like kind of happens a lot. Sometimes you maybe even be with your twin without even realizing you're with them. It's like, as I've said before, it's always like a really like personal journey to the twins, and you may not even realize you're with them, but you look back and you're like, they are literally perfect for me. They are like the other half of my soul, and I met them in such a strange, unexpected, beautiful, spiritual way. Like the whole universe worked its way around us, like us to bring each other together. So as I've said, like it will always be individual, but it will always be characterized with a lot of energy and like an unexpected kind of awakening between the both of you. And the energy between you will feel really, really, really strong, and it will feel really like supercharged. It won't be like meeting like anyone. It will be like this person is so special, and you'll know deep in your heart that you've met someone that you're fated to be with. So that's the first sign. The second sign of a twin flame relationship is that they bring up a lot of your traumas, and they also like mirror you as well. So when you meet your twin flame, all of the things that you've been running from will start to surface. So all of those like negative emotions, all of the traumas, all of the feelings that you've had that you've repressed will all of a sudden come out, and you'll find yourself having very deep conversations with them about your past, your history, your traumas, the things that have like held you back, your limiting beliefs. You'll start having conversations in a lot of cases with your twin about all these things, and they will start coming up to the surface. You'll also notice that your twin will have like maybe similar traumas, or they will like have their own journey, and the things that they do or the things that they've experienced may mirror yours. So for example, you may both have quite deep self-worth issues, or abandonment issues, or like past relationship issues, and you kind of mirror each other's issues in a way that it brings up your stuff. In a lot of cases, the twin flame won't actually do anything to hurt you because they love you unconditionally. It will be the fact that just being with this person brings up all of your traumas, all of your like repressed emotions, and all of the things you haven't dealt with. They'll bring it all up, but it won't be because this person's like hurting you. It will just be meeting that person brings up all these like feelings that you've been hiding from. And when those feelings come up, it is the most loving thing in the whole world, because you guys have, like, if you're twins, you will have had a contract on a soul level to kind of meet each other to process all these emotions. So when the emotions come up, it's actually like, it's such a loving thing, because they are like catalyzing your spiritual growth and your ascension and your return to love and light. So when you meet them and they bring up all these emotions, it can feel really painful, but it's always happening in divine timing so that you can release all of those things. Like, how special is it to meet someone who you fated to be with and you've been fated to meet in order for you to heal? Like, they have literally been brought into your life to show you your wounds so that you can heal and you can be whole again. And that's whole within yourself and whole within them. So they will bring up these things. And a lot of the time when you meet your twin flame, you'll probably be get really interested in like healing and like kind of like having revolutionary ideas about like kind of how to heal. And you may be really interested in looking at your limiting beliefs, like more spiritual work. Like, you'll become really interested in different ideas that you can like in personal development or spirituality, or like helping the world, or like bringing change about. Like, twins are quite revolutionary, and they can like bring about some really big spiritual ideas, big awakenings, and like just really big creative ideas. Twin flames can bring that to each other and really catalyze each other's spiritual healing. So if you've met someone who triggers you so much that you become so interested in healing yourself, that is a sign of a twin flame. Now, the final sign, which I think is really important to like talk about with twin flames, is that they feel like your home. So in a lot of cases, like, twin flames will be really painful, and they'll be really like, what's the word, like triggering. They'll be so triggering for you, and they'll bring up all your healing, they'll bring up all your traumas to be healed, but underlying that is a sense that you are at home with this person. This person loves you more than anyone in the whole world. Like, they are the other half of you, so they love you unconditionally. They have so much love for you. So even though it can be really triggering, it can be really emotional, it can bring up all of your stuff, but this person will love you unconditionally, and they will feel like home. Like, they will be your best friend. Like, no matter what traumas you go through, they will, on a soul level, you cannot replace this person. Like, they are your best friend. So this is like the main indicator of a twin flame versus a karmic partner, and we're going to talk about this more in the third video that I released with soul navigation. So make sure, if you want more information about this, make sure to check out the next video. And with twin flames, you will feel like you're at home and they're your best friend. Now, karmic partners will also bring up this triggering emotions, and it will be really difficult, but these relationships they're not like your best friend. They're here to teach you, and the unconditional love may not be there with a karmic partner. They may bring stuff up for you, you may feel triggered, but with a karmic relationship, you're probably not going to feel like they're like your best friend and you're at home with them. The twin flame is always characterized by a deep sense of love. Like, the love is just so strong between the twins, even if they can't be together, even if it's so triggering that they have to be apart. Even if they're in separation, which is when like the twins, like there's so much stuff triggering both the twins or one twin, and it's so painful because all of their old hurt is coming up, that there will still be an underlying love between them that's really, really, really strong. Whereas a karmic partner isn't always, that it will be triggering. I think this is why people get confused between karmic partners and twin flames, because karmic partners can be really triggering and emotional, and like it can bring up your stuff and your wounds. But with a twin flame, you love them, they love you, and they feel like home, and you know on a deep level they absolutely adore you and you're irreplaceable to them. So even though it can be quite triggering and like you feel like you have to be apart, like a twin flame will always feel like home, and they'll like be your best friend on a soul level. I wanted to talk a bit about why twins can't always be together, and if they are, what you can do to kind of make sure that the relationship goes as smoothly as possible and that you can be in union with your twin. Now, twin flame relationships can be quite intense, and it brings up all your traumas, and you almost are face to face with your soul, and they'll mirror you in every way. So that can be really painful because it brings up the shadow side of you, and you'll be able to see like the shadows of you and them. So it can be really painful, and it can, if you're not ready to look at your stuff and you're not ready to look at the things that maybe are in the darkness for you or in the shadow side of yourself, it may be quite triggering, and it may lead to a separation between the twins. Twins aren't always meant to be together. Like, you'll have had so many lifetimes with your twin. You'll have been in so many lives together, and in some lives you're meant to be together, and in some lives you're not meant to be together. And in the lifetimes when you're not meant to be together, you need to know that this is for like the highest good of both of the twins, and there's a reason that the universe doesn't want you guys to be together. However, if you are with your twin flame and you know you're with your twin flame, it can work out in some cases. And if it's working out between you and the twin, but it's still quite triggering, or you kind of feel that like one day you will be with them, the best thing for you to do is to take the onus off your twin flame and to work on yourself and work on all of the triggers and the emotions and the difficult experiences that it brings up, but just by having them in your life or by knowing them. So if you can like go and do the work yourself and take the onus off them, if you can stop blaming them, if you can stop like projecting onto them, if you can stop making it like all mean something about how they feel about you, and you can really go into your own limiting beliefs and your own traumas and work on them just for yourself. Like, if you take all the responsibility off them and work within yourself, even if that means you're not in contact with them or you don't talk to them about it, if you can heal within, it can actually lead to a really nice relationship between twins. And if you're meant to be in union, you will be in union. And that will come from you working on yourself and like having this like spiritual growth and like personal development journey, which is totally for you. It's not about them. It's completely and utterly about you. And if you're able to like put the focus on yourself, it can actually lead to quite a lovely twin flame relationship if you guys are meant to be together. Now, that being said, I'm going to talk about a really, really, really good example of a twin flame relationship. I'm going to talk about the astrology and the energy between them. So the example that I'm going to use is John Lennon and Yoko Ono. So John Lennon, obviously, well, most people will know, was in the Beatles, and he was really, really famous, and he wrote the song Imagine, which I'm going to talk about, and he was with a lady called Yoko Ono. And Yoko Ono was an artist. She was also an author, but prior to knowing John Lennon, she actually wasn't that famous. But she was a really good artist, and she was from Japan originally. Now, when John Lennon actually met Yoko Ono, he was married to a lady called Cynthia. Cynthia Lennon, which is John Lennon's wife before Yoko Ono, found him having an affair with Yoko Ono and cheating on her. Now, there are other things that are quite controversial about their relationship. Him meeting her, like, from having an affair is one of them. But also, when he met her, he started being more experimental with his music, and he kind of went his own way from the Beatles. His music kind of changed, and like it became more experimental, but also he split from the Beatles. And there's this kind of speculation that Yoko Ono like split up the Beatles. Like, there's no actual proof from that, but it was shortly after meeting her and falling in love with her that he kind of went his own way with his music. There was also a lot of like rumors and like kind of talk at the time that he like could not be apart from her. Like, he was really, really, really infatuated, and he was just wanted to be with her all of the time. And people didn't really understand what was so like amazing about her, especially as he'd like had an affair to meet her, or to be with her, sorry. The other thing with their relationship was they actually split up like after they married, and they had a break from each other and started seeing other people, but they actually came back together because their relationship was just so intense. But they came back together after the split. The final thing, which everyone knows because it's so, well, I'm assuming everyone knows, is that John Lennon was actually assassinated. So they got split from each other through the fact that he was assassinated, and there was kind of a traumatic ending for both of them because he died at a very young age. She's still alive, by the way, forgot to mention that. So I'm going to put their astrology charts up here. So here's the charts between John Lennon and Yoko Ono. Now, probably the main sign in astrology that you have met your twin flame is when there's a vertex and north node connection. So as you can see from their charts, John Lennon and Yoko Ono have the north node vertex connection, which is one of the astrology signs that you're with your twin flame. But there are loads of other signs as well on an energetic level. As a lot of people know, like, I work a lot with energy, so we'll kind of be talking about the energy between them. But it's really good to know that if you're thinking about whether you're with your twin flame, if there's a north node and a vertex connection, this is a big sign you're with your twin. And if you'd like your astrology read with your twin flame, then please book a reading with one of the amazing astrologers at Team Soul Navigation. So with John Lennon and Yoko Ono's relationship, one of the signs that they are twin flames, apart from their astrology, which shows that they are twin flames, is that it was like the fact that the way that they met and the relationship, there's a lot of energy around the meeting, but he couldn't keep away from her. Like, the energy was so supercharged that when they met, he was actually with someone else and he had to leave her. Like, that's how strong their bond was. The second sign that I've already talked about is the fact that he kind of had like an awakening when he met her. His music changed and he kind of went his own way, which was quite controversial, but this is a sign that she like brought something out of him that made him like kind of have a realization about what he wanted to do, and his creativity like completely came out of its shell. He started experimenting with music, he went his own way, and it was as a result of meeting her. The other big thing, which I think is so lovely, is they wrote the song Imagine together. She had a massive part to play in writing the lyrics and creating that piece of music, which has gone on to touch the heart and souls of so many people around the world. That song is so beautiful, it's got so much soul and heart in it, and there's so much truth behind the song. And the fact that they wrote this together is just such a sign that they're twin flames, because they're coming together to create something beautiful for the world, which has touched the hearts of so many people. And that was kind of like, if you've heard of it, there's like a twin flame mission, which is kind of what I was saying earlier about the twin flames coming together to like be creative and to like help the world and like have spiritual evolution. And that can be like in any way, but in this way they created a beautiful song together, which has kind of touched the hearts of so many people. The other sign that they're twin flames is the fact that they did split up at one point, and the fact that the relationship came to a really, really tragic end with his assassination. The relationship was characterized by some really hard times, including their split, because the relationship was so intense, but they did come back together in the end, and there was always a really strong bond of love between them, which was what I was saying about the third sign of a twin flame, is that they feel like home, and although there may be traumas, they will always love each other unconditionally. So in the case of John Lennon and Yoko Ono, they did have the split between each other, and they did see other people, so obviously the relationship wasn't always smooth flowing, and it was quite intense and quite challenging, but at the same time they did love each other so much, and the relationship And if you watch my first video on soulmates are more smooth. That's the easier relationship to kind of navigate than twin flames. Let me know if you have like looked at your astrology with your twin flame and you have the vertex north node connection, because that's a massive sign that you found your twin. One of my specialities is working with twin flames and soulmates and kind of looking at the blocks you have and like actually confirming whether this person is your twin flame or your soulmate. So yeah, I really hope you've enjoyed that. Please give this video a like so that we know that you enjoy this content, and then it shows us at Team Soul Navigation what you kind of want us to talk about and what you guys are really interested in. So yeah, thank you for joining me here today, and as I said, every single twin flame is on their own divine journey and every single journey is different. So if you'd like to look into like the blocks you have with your own specific twin flame journey, then we can look at those together and we can look at how the blocks within you are like stopping you from fully being in union with your twin, and looking at the trauma and the experiences that come up as a result of your relationship. Because if you found your twin flame, like this is the sign from the universe for you to heal the things that are blocking you. So if you'd like to do that, then please book a reading with me, and I'd love to read your relationship and look at the traumas and the blocks that you have, because it's a really intense journey. So again, thank you so much for joining us today, and I'll see you soon. Bye.